All right, hello there. I don't really know what to say, but here I am, starting a drawing journey. I found some inspiration on YouTube to just start drawing, and I figured if I started doing a video every day, that I might be a little bit more inspired to stay consistent. So we're just gonna put a metaphorical pen to paper because I'm using a drawing tablet, as I've had one lying around for years. I don't really know what to start drawing, to be honest with you. Uh, I googled it, and it said food. So I guess we can start with something I'm very familiar with, which is like a slice of pizza. So I don't know. I When I think of a slice of pizza, it's kind of like I think it starts with like a circle here. Also, be prepared because I don't draw. I have no sensibility for um art at all. This is just me trying to develop a skill I've always wanted to acquire. Then it has a bit of a curve to it. The crust is matching on both sides. Oh man, already pretty bad. It's okay. That's all right. And then it ends off the similar angle. I can already tell that this is not the same, but we're not going to dwell too much on like getting everything perfect from the get-go. We're just going to let it slide. And I like to think that this is like a slice that someone's holding in their hand about to eat. So we got to get that little droopy physics thing in there. The problem is that this doesn't make a lot of sense. I would want to rotate this more because a hand is going to be like, you know, oh, I've got smoothing way too high. Let me turn this down. I was goofing around earlier. So you need like, you got like fingers supporting it here and here and here. And then usually like your thumb is right around here so that when your mouth is here, you know, you're going to take a bite. This is my theoretical person. Hi. Uh, so I don't know. Obviously proportions are all sorts of frigged up, but yeah, I guess we should really focus on what we can do. So what I can do is try to make this look a little bit more three-dimensional. Pizza slices typically get a little bit more flat, the closer to the center, due to the fact that they're sort of weighed down by the toppings that are on there and the sauce. Further out, I don't tends to be a little bit lighter because I mean, typically if you're stretching a pizza, your edges will be a little bit thicker. Just that's how it works. You know. Um, I don't know. I only eat my pizza with like cheese. Really. I'm revealing a lot about myself here. Let's undo these. So cheese gives like these little weird burnt. It's not burnt. It's caramelization, and they're semi-random. And I'm saying that, but I'm drawing them in a line already. By the second one and the fourth one are in a line. There's no real uniformity to it. Uh, and then in the middle you have like slobs of grease, right? So just essentially where the cheese has become most exposed so that it can caramelize, that sort of thing. And I'm doing I've watched videos of stuff like this before where you're like, you want to put them randomly, but really what you do is you see, oh, big space, let me throw another piece in there so that it all matches up. This is clearly not random. I've got lines. I got like a pretty solid line there, line here, line here, line here, line there. What are you going to do? It's day one. Um, you know, you just kind of roll with it. Uh, and I guess like my light source would probably be like from this direction. So we may try some shading. I don't really know what I'm doing with layers yet either. Like I know what I should be doing, but I don't know what I am doing. So we're just gonna, keep Trucking on. This pizza slice has no texture. It's just a giant glob of one consistency. So if the light source is right here, I would think I don't this is like my second time ever using this. This is Clip Studio. I'm sure you can tell by this up here at the top. So I don't know how to use like any brushes or anything. We're gonna be figuring that out as we go. But for the time being, we're just gonna kind of shade crappy like this. And the great thing about day one, I will say the great thing about day one is that it's a starting point and it's going to be really difficult to be worse than this. You know what I mean? Um, this is pretty bad, and that's all right. I guess, yeah, I mean, like I wanted to develop my art skills since I was, 14. I'm in my late 20s now, and I've never really pursued it with any real consistency. Um, I mean, I guess if I was to do highlights, I would have to shade this whole thing, which we're not gonna do. So we're just gonna be like, this is a highlight here, essentially. The rest of this would be like darker. I also have to adjust like tablet settings because I'm nervous to touch my pen to the tablet and I keep having to push harder, which is why my lines are inconsistent because it doesn't come up very well. Just things that we're gonna be progressing on throughout the days. Um, okay, pizza slice. I give this a. You could probably tell what it is, but it might also just be because of all of this. I give it like a 3 out of 10. Uh, Probably pizza. Yeah, I'm just gonna, we're just gonna draw for a bit. Um, that's a no reference, by the way. This is just pizza from my brain. Something you may be interested to know about me is I've had pizza almost every day of my life, actually. Like, genuinely. I eat a lot of pizza. Um, if I had to guess, like, I've certainly probably had an average of one slice of pizza a day for my life, if not more than that. I worked at pizza places for a long time. And so, you know, I ate a lot of pizza because it's easy. And I used to be fat when I was a kid, and that's because I ate a lot of pizza and drank a lot of soda. Okay, so, we're gonna go down to here, I guess, to this layer so that it feels like I'm actually making use of layers. And we're gonna draw the next thing on the list, which, I Googled beginning things to draw, like I mentioned, and food was on there, but so were flowers, and I like flowers. Who doesn't like flowers? I just took a picture of flowers the other day. I don't really know how to start drawing things. Um, but I guess having a shape would be the preferred method and then to enhance it in from there. So really when I'm looking at some sort of flower. I don't know. I don't know what it is. But to me it seems kind of like a big circle that has a bunch of little circles in it. That's not like 100% accurate, but let's just say this is the big circle. I also can't draw circles, guys. I'm sorry. So sorry. And I see lots of smaller circles at the edges that connect into triangles. Okay, so actually, these circles are way bigger. I'm making these way too small. So we got something like that. Not very circular, but it's more like an ellipse. What are you going to do? Same with that one. Needs to be bigger. And then, because there is some big breaks between some of these petals. That's really like the essence I'm trying to capture here. Probably shouldn't be doing a picture of a flower that's not just a straight perspective, but I did watch a video the other day that said straight perspective is some of the hardest perspective to do because you'll be able to notice all of the small mistakes that you make a lot easier. All right, so we've got that. Now we just need to do lines in from each one. Oh, where we kind of get to this circle here in the center. Oh, one too many undos. That's good enough, I guess. It's far from perfect. And then we're gonna go to this top section. Well, actually, let's take our eraser tool. We're gonna erase a little bit so that we kind of get that flower vibe going, maybe. The circle has overstayed its welcome. I know you're not supposed to like erase stuff like this. You're supposed to just like lower opacity. I know how to do that in Photoshop, but not really here. So we're just gonna delete it and roll on. And erase that. Because those are my guides to how to shape the outside, but they kind of make it ruin the flower look. So I'm realizing this looks kind of like I think it's a poppy in what I've drawn. And I just need to tell you that that is not what it looks like in the image at all. Just to be clear. I just, we're just starting here. So then I got like this little bulb thing that comes out. I don't know parts of a flower either. We're going to zoom in. I don't know how to zoom in with my tablet, so I just use my mouse wheel. And this to me, I don't even know what to say here. This is a lot. So we're just going to do what we can. Because it has like these little fronds that come out of it. Mind you, this is all supposed to be in 3 dimensions. So let's do that so that it gives it that little oomph that we need. And there's that. And these end in little circles as well. And there's more, but in the image, they're kind of covering up their little stemmies. So I don't really know how to do that now that I've committed. Um, yeah, we're in a bit of a hole here. How do I size down? Oh, that's teeny. That's a little too small. Okay, I guess that'll work. And one like right here, I guess. And I should probably color these so that it gives a vibe. I'm realizing that I was supposed to be on a different layer this whole time and I wasn't. So, whoopsie, didn't mean to. So this is not yellow in the image, it's like a red. So, that's way too small of a brush. I don't know what kind of brushes to pick either. Default on it was watercolor, so we'll start there. Give it a little bit more red. At least this gives it some texture, so it has some semblance of something. And then the little poles are yellow. So draw that. And go back to pencil on the first layer. Well, I guess not, because this is just like some texture stuff. Um, I'm realizing I've already made a mistake with this because the pole actually comes in. Oops. More like this. And this would end here. But what do? We've committed. It's just gonna look incorrect, and that's fine. Um, Going back to our red onto our second layer. That's what this pole thing looks like. I don't know what else to call it because I don't know. I know nothing. My name is Jon Snow. I don't know anything anymore, if I ever knew anything in the first place. Yeah, I mean, the watercolor brush looks kind of cool. It also looks kind of stupid this close up, but so does my drawing, so maybe it's just thematically fitting, you know what I mean? Very red towards the center, okay? And then at the edge here, it's like a yellow thing. Yikes. Um, yeah, this is fun. This is fine. This is fine. So, towards the center, it's dark, but because we're already on yellow, let's go ahead and just like do this. This gotta be auto select. Here it is. Oh boy. I'm hitting all the wrong buttons. Uh, let's go tighten up our stuff here. Oh, I don't know. I keep hitting Control X. Not a big deal, but it does keep trying to cut something. All right, back to it. So boom, 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 boom. Okay, now we're gonna go back to our brush. And we're gonna go back to our yellow. I wonder. Well, I guess we can goof around. Why not? Give it some oil paint on top of the watercolor. So it's yellow on the outside here. I don't know how these are two different hues. I don't know how this brush works at all. Oh, it's because I'm on the wrong layer. Rather fix it now than later, though, right, guys? Right, guys. All right. And that way I don't gotta. I know there's probably better ways to do this, but then I don't gotta worry about it later. Because I know I've not done it the best way, but I've done a way that will work no matter what mistakes I make here in the future. Okay. From there, it becomes like this pink. I was kind of hoping that this would like merge them a little nicer than this, but it's not, and that's fine. So it's a lot of it is pink before it turns into like a reddish color. Maybe I just take like a blur tool to this. Maybe that'll make it look less bad. Only time will tell. We're just gonna keep trucking. Just gonna keep going like nobody's watching because it's day one. So how could it ever be worse than this? And no one is watching. And maybe no one will ever watch. And that would be fine. Um so I haven't spoken about myself too much. Just that I'm like some dude who's in his late 20s, who's late to the party on drawing and said rather late than never. Am I right, guys? And while that might be true, this is pretty bad. I have no understanding of how to use color in a painting format. Actually, I would say I understand how to use color. I just cannot use color. And then we just kind of give it a little blend here. Actually, I want to blend this the other way. I don't want to deselect either. Try to make these hard lines look a little less hard. I'm using my mouse for this because I'm scared, and when I get scared, I go back to my mouse. PC gamers unite. Yeah, I'm just like a dude. I'm just like some dude. I work for a living, as most people have to, and life goes on perpetually without me endeavoring to do the things I want. So I decided this was something I was going to make myself do so that maybe I would learn to do something I've always wanted to do. I did this once as a streamer, actually. I used to stream way back when, and that turned out not well, but it is what it is. So let's do this. And then go back to my brush. And we're just going to brush this. You see what I'm saying? And then we're just going to blur it again. But I want to blur from outside. I don't want this to become brighter. Make the blur too small, maybe? That's way too small. But I've kind of done like this sort of thing in the past where like if I make something a daily commitment, maybe eventually it becomes part of my repertoire, I guess. Oh God, that's awful. But hey, look, we got a flower that looks nothing like it was supposed to. Part of that is because I haven't added any texture to the outside. Um, this is all rounded like this. When I look at the flower, it's more like sort of this little texture. Even the edges coming in are kind of like that way. And then it also has like these little lines to kind of match the inwards motions of the petal, which I'm not really doing a good job of mimicking here. But just some things to note. Maybe like the circle wasn't wrong, but if you're not going to clean it up, don't start with the circle. And that looks like a clamshell. I give this a 2 out of 10. Definitely a flower. This is also in red and not on the other. Not on the first layer, but also vomit. Um, yeah, I mean, my original plan for this is I was gonna draw faces. I don't even know how long I've been recording. I was gonna draw faces, but I can't draw a circle. So I thought, why would I draw a face if I can't even draw a circle? For example, I don't know. Again, I'm on the wrong layer. My line work is supposed to be on layer 1, but something to note and do better in the future. I just struggle. I just struggle. So we're gonna work on this for just a second because I just want to show you what my plan was. So I was watching this guy and he was like, draw a circle, draw lines, makes your face, line across, line down, shows where like your nose is and where your eyes are. And then you do another line above, and that's kind of like eyebrows. And then you do another line below, and that's kind of like that's kind of like where your cheekbones are, you know? So like pew pew, pew pew. And then from there, you cut this space in half, and that's where your nose ends, you know? Boom boom. And then you can like third that as well. So like third or whatever, and that's where your mouth is. Yay, mouth. And then from here, you also have to drop the line a little further from the center point to find your chin. And then you go, witchoo, witchoo. and then you would draw like some cool guy hair, right? And then add like the top of your ears are level with your eyes, so something like that. And like the bottom of the ear is level with the nose, which I didn't really do, but maybe it's level with the mouth. I don't recall. But something like that. That's something that's kind of, honestly, it's bad, but it's better than my earlier attempts to draw circles and stuff. Uh, so we're just gonna kind of, I guess, finish with like doing some line work because I was told that's a good thing to try. Just try drawing straight lines. My stabilization's at 5. Let's turn that all the way off. Just so you can see what my actual hand looks like. Um, yeah, I mean, things I like to do, draw well. So I've never done that actually, so maybe I shouldn't say that, but I would assume that I would like to draw well. Um, I like to play the drums. I like to sing. My voice is a little shot right now because I've done a little bit too much singing and yelling the last couple of days. Uh, I have like a basic job as a cashier. I'm just some dude who makes money, uh, and it's never enough, but it's always more than what I probably should make. I was a very smart kid in high school, but I didn't finish college because I didn't enjoy my major and I ran out of money and I was just like not stupid or not smart financially. I was very stupid financially. And I have thought about going back. I really wanted to go back this year. It's not looking like it's going to be in the cards. Um, I like video games. I like lying in the sun for 30 minutes in the summer heat, although it's pretty hot lately. As you can see in the bottom right of the screen here, it's 98 degrees where I live. Uh, I don't know. I'm just like a dude. I'm a single dude. I live in a house with a bunch of dudes who are also, you know, guys that I work with. They don't do the same thing that I do at our place, but um, we all work at the same establishment. We all met at the our place of work. Trying to be a little shy about this because frankly, I don't really want people I know seeing this and like coming and talking to me about it. Not because I'm embarrassed, but there's just not really conversations I want to have. Also, maybe I could use this as like a space just to freely talk about my life and things going on in it. So right now, I'm not trying to draw straight lines anymore. I'm just trying to be able to follow the lines I made before. Um, Having a tablet, I'm sure this would be a lot easier if I had one of those nifty little like finger gloves, but I don't. So yeah, my fingers are getting stuck pretty bad. It's all right. Maybe I can grab like a nice little microfiber cloth and run it. Um, so yeah, I don't know how many days we're gonna actually do with this. My minimum goal is to do one of these videos every day for 100 days, but it would be nice if I could do this for, a year or 2 years and see where that takes me. Uh, these last ones are getting bad because I'm getting a little fatigued. Oh, that one's pretty good. That one's pretty solid. Uh, Draw some shapies, I guess. I do have space left on the canvas. Um, so yeah, I mean, my goal is, I guess, really to see if I can get this to inspire me to become a better artist by having something that holds me accountable, even if nobody's watching. Accountability is all the same. I was going for a normal pentagon, but I drew a house instead. Um, and yeah, there's a lot of other things that I want to be consistent on in my life, and I would consider myself intrinsically creative, but not having been one to ever really like pursue those avenues. Um, I've always come up with reasons why I can't. I'm not good enough, blah 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 blah. But you never get good enough if you never try, right? So here we are trying. Hexagon. It would probably be better if I drew these larger so the mistakes can really shine through. But yeah, we're pretty much probably gonna call this like a wrap here. Because another thing I'm trying to get better about is going back to the gym. Uh, trying to trying to look good. I was always a fat kid growing up. I never got rid of all the pudge and I never developed all the muscle I needed. So, we're here. This is it. This is day one. So let's write that at the top. And um day one can't get much worse than this, right? Right? What's like a nervous face look like? I don't know. I don't emoji very much. But like maybe do like yeah. All right. Day one can't get much worse than this, right? We didn't even bother rating these. They're bad. I know they're bad. Um so I guess welcome to my channel. We're gonna be here for a little while, 100 days. So majority of the rest of the year, maybe longer than that. And we'll see where this takes us. Thanks for coming by, and I'll see you tomorrow for another however long I record video. Goodbye.